we should probably go back and revisit 2015 because it was such a real memorable moment in that run you had with the Hamburglar. I just think for a sec, Lazar, we probably should really take a bite and chew down on this and think about the way that series unfolded.
It was a lot of fun.
What were you thinking the night you picked up the hamburger off the ice? Because it became something you've been known for throughout your career. As Meth is likely to choke down on this burger, it became almost a staple of what you were known for a while.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I was a young kid that was just having fun. Just played a hard fought game and I was hungry. So why not? And I remember I was sitting on the bench, and that's that misconception of like, oh, it was a burger that was like on the ice. Well, no, it wasn't. It was in a wrapper and it hit me on the bench. But I remember eating like 3/4 of it and actually came in the room and Meth, you probably don't remember this. And you looked at me. The look on your face was, you were shocked, but also disgusted. And you
I remember. I was just going to say that. Yeah.
It was just,
I just remember looking over at Lazar and thinking like, first of all, I've never seen that before playing hockey in my entire career. And you got Curtis Lazar eating a friggin' cheeseburger that was thrown at him from the stands, but people loved it. Like, can you remember all the messages and people, like the airtime that you got from that? It was insane.
Yeah. Well, it's funny actually too, because after this trade to Boston I think people nobody knew who I was. I mean, it's the Taylor Hall trade. So, they hop on the internet and search my name. The amount of photos that have popped up.
The cheeseburger guy.
Yeah. So I got people in Boston kind of reaching out and kind of want to get it going back, that every time I score, there's a burger on the ice. But I hope it doesn't get to that point, because I think it was something that I had fun with then, and we'll leave it back in the past.
Well, if you guys make a good push here and you get in there and make some noise, you can count on well, I guess, do you guys have fans in the stands yet in Boston?
Yeah,
they do.
100 of them or something.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm sure someone will throw a cheeseburger at you. If you guys are playing, it'll happen.
Yeah, that's when we know the life has come full circle.
Okay, so go through this run. Obviously, you had no idea at February when this thing started, but you played, I think, a key role down the stretch. Really, you had 7 points in the last, I'm going to be off, maybe 14 games, including assists in the final 2 games, which clinched the playoff spot. Yeah. In the middle of that run, do you know there's something special, or do you still not know because you're not in a playoff spot at the time?
It's hard to say, because going through a streak in the opposite way, it's kind of like, it's almost the same thing. It's like disbelief, and you're like, okay, like let's see what Hammy's got for us again. Oh, there's another one. And they're like, no, there's not a chance he's got this one in him. And it just kept on going and going. But it was every night someone, was kind of rose to the occasion. And it was like, Mark Stone's coming out party. And then you realize, Andrew Hammond finished the year with like 20 wins, and he played I don't know how many games, and you're like, we really did it. And that was just remarkable. And that's, I don't think people understand how hard it is to do, because, it's an everyday league, and, every team has a chance to win coming against you, but he stood tall for us. And like I said, being a part of it is you just kind of try to keep it small picture, but looking back, it's definitely something that's, I'm always going to value and think back and reflect on.
When did you guys know that you were going to be in a playoff spot? Not till the last game, or did you think earlier than that?
Well, yeah. What did it come down to? Like, did we have to win our last game? That was against Philly, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was like the third period or so. I don't know if we're up 1 or down 1 or what it was, but I remember Mark Stone stripped someone, surprise,
yeah.
and just put the puck in the net, and then, did his big celebration. And I think that was the moment when he said, we got this.
Was there any throughout that, any speeches made from anybody as you guys come down the wire here? Like that win in New York just before it was a huge win, just to even give you the chance to be in Philadelphia, if you will.
Yeah. And again, like we're talking, what are we, 6 years ago now? Like,
yeah. I want you to remember it like it was yesterday. Okay.
I can't remember anything. Like you're asking Lazar these questions and you think that I'd be able to chime in. And I'm thinking like, I don't even remember the Philly game. I don't remember anything about it. I don't remember any speeches. I think the best way to describe it was like a blur, and we never expected to win that next game. And we just kept getting wins, and we kept getting these insane performances from a couple different players every other night. And that's how we did it. I think that's what made it so special, right? Like we had not just Hamburglar, but we had a lot of guys contributing.
What's one thing I remember though was after that game in Philly is we had burgers on the plane ride home. I'll never forget that.
It's true. That's right.
See, that's selective, but it's great.
Yeah.
This is one of the few flights I was on. Going into the Philadelphia game, if I'm not mistaken, you guys can correct me. You guys took the train from New York. Do you remember going down underneath MSG to take that train? No.
I remember doing that once, but I don't know if it was that then or.
I thought that was the one because you go like 6 floors down of MSG into this train. Anyway, I guess it's not that one.
Oh, I think you're right. I've got like a vague memory of taking.
It took like 20 minutes to make this.
Yeah, it took forever to get down there.
It's like a whole world of city down there.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't actually. Lazar, do you even remember that, or probably not?
Well, no, I remember going down because, like you said, it's so cool. This iconic rink, but I didn't know it was that moment. Like you can think about it, kind of a do or die game coming up, and we just hop on a train as opposed to just doing a normal routine. It's pretty crazy, but no, I do remember that.
It was great. I remember that train ride was the best, but that whole undercity of MSG is phenomenal to me. I kept looking for rats, obviously, but there was just this bizarre walk. I just remember we're just all following Brian Murray and Jordan, like, yeah, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool.
What, the final game, then you guys are in the room celebrating. And Methot, you and I actually haven't even discussed the 2015 run. What's the atmosphere like now that you guys know you've clinched a playoff spot?
I think it's the hard part with that is it's such like a build up, and then you almost like exhale. You're like, we did it.
Yeah.
But then you realize the work's just starting, and then we go to Montreal, and what happened with the whole? It was the Stone and Subban. Wasn't there a slashing incident or something like that?
Yeah, his wrist or his hand or something, right?
They called it the microfracture. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And someone had a picture from the hospital. Some hospital staff member took a picture of him being in the hospital. I remember that.
Was that the same season? God, this is how bad my memory is. Was that the same round where Grimes laid out
player 61, Rafael Diaz?
Yeah. Right?
No, that was a little before my time.
Yeah, I think it was a different series, but now that you bring it up, I can't remember. You need to do some homework.
I'm not very smart.
Anyway, Lazar, tell me about the Montreal series. Because Meth doesn't remember either.
Nothing.
Well, yeah, from a player standpoint, like, your first taste of playoffs in the Neil Bell Center, it's pretty crazy. I want to say maybe game 1, I think we lost 2-1, something like that. But we're just right there, and I think it was that adversity because we're so used to winning that it kind of put us back on our heels, I'd say. But we had a good run. I remember being back home. I think Dale Weiss had a game where he had like 2 goals or something against us too with the OT winner. And we just ran out of gas. And you can't really blame us, I guess, when your goalie just kind of carries you the entire way when you're just leaving it all on the ice for over a month plus. It was pretty crazy because I do remember that whole run. It was a game and a day off. Like, we didn't practice that entire time, which was pretty crazy.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew Hammond has talked about, like, he knew coming down the stretch he was exhausted, and then he tried to make a go at it in the playoffs. Did you guys feel bad for him? Like, did anybody know that he was, I guess, exhausted down the stretch? Did he say much?
I mean, what are you gonna say? Like, hey, just take this one off. I mean, he kept going because I remember like always looking at him. There's one game, and it was the Winnipeg. You say, like, it's hard to remember this streak, but we had a back-to-back, and the second half of that was in Winnipeg. And I remember looking at him in his stall, and he was there dumping packets of Pedialyte to his drink just to like stand up. And he was making an acrobatic save after save. But no, I mean, I think as a player, you just try and make his job as easy as possible, try and get him some run support or, blocking a shot here or there. But no, I mean, he stood tall from start to finish, and I just wish we could do more with it.
It was a great run. Like, it was one of the true, obviously, things that I'm not sure we're ever going to see that kind of run again, but maybe. But I can't imagine what it's like to be in it for all of you and the emotion of living and dying on almost every night, a win or a loss.
Yeah, it's the emotional roller coaster. And like they say, you got to keep an even keel or, celebrate it for 5 minutes and move on. But it was pretty hard to do. But just kind of having that day in between the games, I guess, when we had the chance to clear our minds was very important.